Welcome into today's video, you guys. We are going to be testing some new makeup. I am pretty excited for today's video. I've been tailoring my purchases lately to things that really look exciting. What we have on today's agenda, I'm gonna go through with you guys right now. Of course, I will list timestamps in the description box in case you guys wanna like skip ahead to any particular product, as I always do. And of course, I will be linking these products in the description box along with shades. So I have the Tower 28, the new GoGo Cooling Shimmer Sticks. I got one shade in Whiskey. I picked up, and this is like not new, you know, this already has been out for several years, but like they came out with a mini, so I got the mini. The Lash Clash Mascara Volume Extreme from YSL. I think I've seen this before, but I think the reason I avoided it is because the wand looks kind of cray-cray. So I don't know if I'm gonna love it, but when a mini comes out, you know, I usually go, okay, I'll buy it, I'll try it. So the mini was new, but not the mascara itself. Then we have the new NARS, the Multiple. It's been reformulated. I've had this, I've reviewed this. I did not like the original NARS Multiple formula. It was way too sheer and really kind of glittery. So I'm hoping that this is a little bit better. I did swatch one shade in store. So we'll try this, but we'll also, on the other side, the Ciele Blush with SPF 45. It's a powder blush. Also one shade, but like maybe hopefully somewhat similar, you know, so I look like I match. I picked up the reformulated Best Skin Ever Multi-Use Concealer from Sephora. I used to love this concealer, but it did run a little bit yellow, so I decluttered it some time ago because it was a terrible shade for me. I never picked it back up, but at one point it was like a holy grail, so I don't know how this has been reformulated, but we'll look it up. Also, the Best Skin Ever foundation, that was also one of my holy grails that I almost finished to the point of empty, has been reformulated as well. Then I'm very excited for this one. The Kosas Soul Glazer, the Lengthening and Lifting Peptide Mascara. And then finally, two releases from Haus Labs. The highlighting stick is not necessarily new. It's been out for like a couple of months, but when I got this, I picked this up. I figured that I would try both. Also, I saw this in store and it actually looked a lot better than it did online. It looked like something that I would like instead of just like glittery or too sheer. So I got the Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm. So it's a contour balm. And then with it is the Bio Radiant Glassy Highlighter Balm. So they're both balmy, but I liked the way that the balm felt when I swatched it. So I felt like I would be fine getting it. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's start off with the Tower 28 GoGo Cooling Shimmer Stick. All right, so my very first thought was when I saw these was like, okay, we've seen these cooling sticks in other places. Like for example, the KVD Dazzle Sticks. I have two shades. I have had three before. I decluttered one because it was not like a great shade. You know, I don't know how available these are anymore because Ulta only seems to have one shade, but these are also very cooling and very sparkly and like melty. I don't think these had a ton of hype when they released a couple of years ago, but I think that they were absolutely fabulous and I've talked them up like quite a bit. They feel cold when they go on. All of the shades have sparkle to them. I think they're really easy to apply. You can swipe these straight onto the eyes, but then you can also pick it up with a brush straight from the tube. So this one right here is Hail Surge, which is like a nice champagne-y shade. And this one right here, the pinky one, is in Force Field. It's like a pinky brown, but both of them are very flattering on the eyes. And again, just like very cooling. They do retail for $24 a piece versus the $20, but my initial thought was, is this GoGo stick from Tower 28 like the same size? I want to see if it's like the same amount of product because when I saw this box, I was like, woo, that is a small box for 20 bucks. Oh, I mean, not really. They're not exactly the same size and I can almost guarantee like what's in the actual product. Like this is going to be a smaller tube, but this is going to be less. Yeah, so this one is 0.123 ounces and this one is 0.09 ounces for $20. But the shade range in these looks so much better. They do come with 8 different shades. The shades look really good and there's like a nice range. Again, I got Whiskey, which is a chocolate brown. That's just something I'm really into. They're supposed to be a cooling long wear eyeshadow stick that lasts up to 8 hours and delivers high impact shimmer without irritation. Biometric Sugar Complex addresses dryness and flakiness. Ooh, see now these are softer feeling than the KVD Dazzle Sticks. Those are like, you can feel the glitters. They can feel like they're a little bit chunky. Whereas this one is like perfectly smooth. It held its shape a lot better than like the Dazzle Stick. By comparison, you can see how many more sparkles and how like it kind of flakes off a little. It's just not as smooth of a formula. This one is so smooth. All right, we're going in straight to the eye and I'll probably just like buff it out with a brush Look at all my little wrinkles. Okay. Yes, it's very cold. Very, very cold. Okay, I need the edges to buff nicely because that's how I usually apply these. Straight to the eyes and buff the edges. That was easy and I'm done. My favorite kind of shadow sticks, they have a lot of base to them and sparkles on top. So, I mean, this hits that. It checks that. Ooh, that was actually a little bit difficult to get off. These are a lot less sparkly than the KVD ones. I can just see that the KVD ones, like lots of sparkle is happening when I take this off. But this is more like one fluid color. The sparkles are just not as intense in this one. Kind of a different formula. Very simple application. I mean, that's it. This is pretty much what I've been reaching for a lot lately, like a deep brown, chocolate brown with sparkles. Like if I'm going for a single, I kind of wear these a lot. I don't know what the draw for me is, but I do in fact enjoy that they have a shade that is like this, because a lot of the other shades look pretty light. I'll show you guys again. It seems like there's like a couple of purples. Okay, the formula starts like flaking the more you use this. So it's looking more like the KVD Dazzle Stick the more that I apply it. And then I just try to pick it up with a brush. It's actually not very easy to pick up with a brush the way that these ones from KVD are. Still very cooling, and I like that it has a little cap to protect it, but these are so freaking small for $20. Okay, they've packed the product in here. They've done a decent job. And honestly, I kind of enjoy this tilted shape and smaller more than this one. I think it just makes it a little bit easier to apply. This is always like a little bit big and a little bit harder to control. So, you know, now I'm not necessarily mad at the size of the Tower 28. These do claim to wear up to 8 hours. That is part of their description. Now it's just gonna be, are they going to crease? Because I already saw a little bit of creasing on this eye just a second ago. Whereas these ones from KVD with set eyes never crease on me. And you'd think they might because they're a thicker formula, but they do not. I am really concerned that I'm gonna get creasing in my little hoods because I can see it start to happen. Like it's already creasing. You see this like on this eye right here, right in that little hood. Excuse you. Like I'm gonna try and like tap it in there, you know, in case like I had my eye kind of open when I was applying it, but I don't think I did. I wear so many creams and so many powder shadows like this lately, and I almost never get creasing. So if these crease, they suck. Oh, by the way, we're gonna be doing a wear test today on a different complexion product that's in a different video. So if these do end up creasing, I'll come back and inform you guys so you guys know how they wear. So Biometric Sugar Complex addresses dryness and flakiness. Crystal Blend adds multi-dimensional shimmer. Irish Moth, smooth skin and locks in moisture. Vegan, cruelty-free. It doesn't claim to like not be non-creasing, just that it's 8 hours of wear. Still, what is the point of a cream shadow if you're just gonna crease and look gross? Let's move on into the mascaras before we do our base. Let's start with the YSL one. The Mini Lash Clash Extreme Volume Mascara. This one retails for $18. This was a Allure Best of Beauty winner for $23. I remember a lot of people talking about this. It's a couture mascara in travel size that features the same oversized brush and formula for extreme volume with up to all day wear. Long wearing, volumizing, and lengthening. It's not that I didn't want to try this when it initially came out because volumizing is my thing. It was more like this wand looks absolutely crazy. Wands like this with wet formulas, I make the biggest mess. I have opened this one time. I like to open it a lot more than that to let the formula have a chance to dry out if it will, because usually I get a better performance, look at my frizzy hair, better performance out of a mascara once it's dried out a little bit. I like that they've said like it's the same brush, like the brush size didn't change even though it's a mini. A lot of these minis from luxury brands tend to be super small, and I find that they're very like tester size. This is a decent size with a decent size brush, making the mini I think definitely worth the purchase. Yeah, these are a little bit of a harder bristle. They're not super duper soft, which is kind of what I look for when I look for volumizing. I mean, probably any mascara. I can't stand when the bristles are just too soft. My lashes are so fine that like soft bristles, they don't tend to like grip to my super fine lashes. Immediately, like it's decent pigment. But I mean, I want it to like build up like a lot of volume. I want it to thicken my freaking lashes. Not only do I need them to like show up, I need them to be thicker. I don't usually immediately love a mascara, but I will say this is pretty good. You know, it's so difficult to see my left eyelashes. I feel like because they kind of go straight, whereas you can see them a lot more on my right side because they curl quite a bit. I will say this mascara hits all the boxes for me which are, I prefer something that's a little bit drier right out of the gate. I don't love a super wet formula because I tend to make a mess, but also I don't think it grips to the lashes the way a volumizing mascara should. So it's okay to have a wet formula, I think, if you're doing lengthening, but if you're doing volumizing, I feel like it definitely needs to be a little bit on the drier side so it just locks onto the actual lash. I also want it to be pigmented, but when I say pigmented, I don't mean like give me freaking spider eyes, which I don't think this mascara is doing. I think that it separated it pretty nicely and didn't clump up. Like, I'm not looking at like 3 different lashes. I'm looking at a fullness. That's also what I look for. Does it add pigment to all of the lashes where it's creating a more full look, not just like giving me spider eyes volume? I think that I'm gonna end up really liking this. Again, we'll do a wear test, so I'll be able to tell you like how it wears and whether it flakes or not. I feel like this GoGo stick went farther out on the right side and not the left. Don't twist it up. Oh, I think I got mascara on me. That is just amazing. Ooh, this mascara definitely dries pretty quickly. I think I'm gonna end up liking it, like maybe a lot, to the point where I end up buying the full size. Like, that's how I feel so far, which is generally not where I go with mascara on my first try. It might be a little bit weird to do one that is lengthening on the other side, but we're gonna do it. The Kosas Mini Soul Gazer Lengthening Mascara plus Lash Serum in one for sensitive eyes. This one retails for $16. How is this mini $2 less than a YSL mascara? I mean, make that make sense, I think, for me. This brush tip I like so much more. Like, just the shape of it, just the fact that it's like small molded plastic bristled wand. Like, this is just my kind of wand, although I could leave the hourglass shape. Like, that's not something I need. A lengthening mascara that builds without clumping, powered by a lash boosting peptide serum for visibly longer, fuller lashes in 6 to 8 weeks, safe for sensitive eyes. Lengthening, long wearing, peptides. Okay, good stuff. I let this breathe once as well. You know, it feels like it takes a lot of the product off, especially when it's like these kind of plastic bristled ones. I don't feel like you pick up a lot of pigment, but here we go. Oh yeah, definitely lengthening. I think this is kind of an in-between formula. Like, it's not too wet. It's definitely wetter than the YSL one though. But I can feel it picking through my lashes, which means to tell me it's either this wand or it's this formula. This is not pigmented enough for me personally. I mean, like, especially when I wear really colorful or like dark eye looks, I want a really pigmented mascara. You know, lengthening isn't necessarily my game. I've always had long eyelashes, but you just can't see them because they're so fine, they're so thin, and for some reason they came out blonde. I mean, if you want volume, you're gonna have to keep building the crap out of this mascara, I feel like. All right, it said length. It said length. You can see the difference between the two. This one is so much more fluttery. It's a lighter weight formula in general. It's not meant for volumizing. It's meant for lengthening. Yes, I get it. It gives length, okay? It is not a clumpy formula at all, and it's still wet enough that I can keep building it. Although, I do like to apply just like one coat when I'm doing my mascara. Like, whatever mascara I'm using, I want it to be so pigmented and the formula to be dry enough that like one application is all I'm gonna need. So obviously 2 different mascaras, but honestly, they're both really good at what they do. You can really see the length on this one, and also you can see that it's like filling things in. It's not just making them length and like clumping them together. It's actually doing the same thing, which is kind of like making them look fuller. Like, I like them. I think it's just a preference thing. And this isn't like nothing is there. My right eye always looks so much better than my left eye. For whatever reason, the lashes, I'm telling you guys, like, they go in different directions, and also they're not even as long on this side. It's wild. But both of those are really good for what they do. Now we'll see how they wear. Okay, I did hop out and I did do a wear test on the new, well, not a wear test yet, but the Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. This is my old bottle. This is the new bottle. So I do have the new on this side and the old on this side. So if my foundation looks like 2 different shades, it's because it is. If you guys are interested in seeing that video, it will also be up on my channel. It's going to be a separate video where I'm going to be doing a wear test. So also when I come to check in on this eyeshadow that looks like it's deeper on the right side than the left, I will also be able to do an update on the wear test of that foundation. Yeah, I don't know why it just looks darker on that side. Okay, I need to quit messing with it. That always happens. I'll look back later and I'm like, oh my gosh, like one eye was darker than the other. Let's move on to this concealer. So this retails for $16. It's a buildable medium coverage concealer with a long wearing formula that hydrates the skin with hyaluronic acid for up to 16 hours. It's medium coverage. It has a natural finish. It's hard to tell if the reviews that are here are either the new formulation or the old. I would imagine these should all be new. I have mine in the shade 04Y. Wait, what? I did not pick 04Y. That is so crazy. So this is actually fair with yellow undertones, which sucks because I swatched this in store and one of my chief complaints was that this concealer ran yellow. I really hope that this works because I did swatch a lot in store and they looked yellow and this one did not. This is made in France, if I didn't say already, and has a 6-month shelf life on it. You know, sometimes you just shouldn't reformulate things. And also Sephora, like, why do we have to put a sticker on here that is nearly impossible to get off and it's just leaving gunk all over my freaking packaging? Yeah, ew. Very different doe foot applicator than the last. It's a nice curve and it's really, really like plushy and you can like really move it around. We're gonna go on the right eye first. No, this looks yellow. Definitely looks yellow. And take a sponge and buff it in. I literally don't understand how I swatched it in stores and this was like the least yellow shade, but I ended up getting 04Y. What is my problem? I mean, it doesn't not look good, but I don't have yellow undertones. It's fine though. Like, it's definitely nice coverage and it feels very hydrating. It's not a thick formula at all. Very creamy feeling. It's thicker than like a serum concealer for sure, but it feels very lightweight and it has a decent amount of coverage. I don't think the original formulation was that much different feeling on my skin. I think one of my criticisms when doing reformulations is like, can you please tell us how the old formula compares to the new formula on these product descriptions? That would be absolutely fabulous. Because I'm on the Sephora app now and it doesn't say like how it changed, but medium to full coverage, it's lightweight, ultra fine texture, corrects the look of blemishes, and supposed to be invisible on the skin for up to 16 hours. I never had creasing with the old formulation. I'm actually really excited. I don't think that this looks too yellow. I think it was actually a really decent shade match. And with those little dotty dots, I think it was medium coverage. I like it. And it does not feel heavy and it does not feel dry on the under eyes. So despite the shade issue, that's my fault, I'm pretty excited about the wear on this. Again, I'm gonna be powdering with a discontinued powder, so don't watch. Now let's move on to the Precision Sculpt Shaping Balm Contour Stick. These names are so long sometimes. 9 different shades. Fabulous, fabulous. I love when they do 9. 8 is great, 9 is better. The lightest shade is in Profile. It's a shadow for fair to light skin tones with a neutral to rosy undertone. Absolutely fabulous. It does retail for $30. It's a precision contour stick that defines and lifts with a buttery texture that effortlessly blends, seamlessly shapes, and sets for 12 hours. It's medium coverage and it does give you a matte finish. Tea rose extract, suberin extract, vitis vinifera extract. I don't know, I'm just saying these things fast. I have no idea. Vegan, cruelty free. $30. I mean, it's a high price point. It's a different kind of shaping stick, you know, it's like a little bit thinner. You get a little bit of a precise application with it. You know, it's interesting, like a precision sculpt shaping stick as opposed to like what a lot of them are looking like these days, which are essentially bigger sticks, you know, when you're doing a contour or a bronzer. I mean, this is specifically supposed to be a contouring and shaping stick. Did I swatch this? I probably did. So you can imagine pretty gray toned, but you can kind of see the undertone here is definitely on the, like the peachy side. See this like undertone around it? That's absolutely fabulous. Generally that works for my skin tone. All right, where am I? I'm there and I'm here. It's a little bit low, but that's literally where the little hollows of my cheeks are. It's not too creamy, by the way. I actually probably applied this with a brush that had like maybe a little bit of blush on it, which I think is hilarious because you can kind of see that I'm giving myself this like rosy tone when I'm blending it in, but it also has like a rosy undertone all by itself. It's actually quite flattering. I would prefer something that like doesn't look muddy, but gives me more shadow that's kind of rosy. I mean, that's kind of my preference. This is what it looks like after I applied it to my face. It's not so creamy, it's like falling apart. I like the applicator, it feels sturdy. It's actually quite a bit of product. That's it now, all rolled up. There's nothing so complex about this packaging that, you know, you would feel like it would break. The only thing is like, don't stab it now that it's still in a dome shape. I really enjoy this. What I did slightly notice is that the harder I was rubbing, I do feel like I was picking up some of the foundation. It's not so emollient that it doesn't require like a little bit of pressing to get it to go into the skin. As by comparison, the Rare Beauty bronzer stick that now comes out in cool undertones that I can use for shaping also is very creamy and requires almost no blending, like pounce, 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 because it's so creamy. I mean, not that you don't blend it, but but it's just so creamy it blends itself, I guess is kind of what I was saying. Where here, you gotta press a little bit. It's not as dry as the Fenty contour stick. It's an in-between Rare Beauty versus the Fenty contour stick. One is very creamy and one is very dry. Moving on to the NARS Multiple. Again, I don't think it's gonna say here exactly what formula has changed, but it says a new reimagined formula of NARS iconic multi-purpose stick with vibrant, versatile shades for cheeks, lips, and eyes. Soft focus powders makes it silky, ultra fine that provide a blurred, perfected look. Rhubarb root extract, which is an antioxidant that defends against environmental aggressors, and peach kernel oil nourishes the skin for a healthy and supple complex. This is supposed to be a matte finish, says Sephora, best for oily combo and normal skin. Interesting. The Multiple, the original, was not matte. It was very sheer, very hydrating, very glossy formula. So I think that's kind of what they've done to this, is make it more of a matte finish with more pigment. These retail for $40. That is a smack in the booty. 12 different shades though. Orgasm Crave is the shade that I have, peachy pink with gold pearl. I went in stores and I swatched this, hence the reason I got Orgasm. I'm also like a huge fan of the Orgasm shade in general because I just like a pinky peach with gold pearl. It's like my favorite colored blush, so this is right up my alley. Now, the original was like sparkly. I don't think this has any sparkles in it. It's got like a sheen to it. No, it's got like a little bit of sparkles, but like only when you're rubbing it out. You guys probably won't even see it on the swatch. You can only see it when it's up close. This is definitely more of a powdery finish than the original formula. So I think what they did was like take the sparkles, make it less dewy, less sheer, give it more of a matte finish, but give it sheen instead of sparkles. We're going in with a flat kabuki. I don't think it's too pigmented. You could probably draw this straight onto the cheeks, honestly. I mean, if you ask me, this formula needed to be reformulated because I really disliked the original. Like even in a really deep shade, I could never get this to show up on me. And then again, it just looked like straight sparkles. I understand that some people do like sparkles and occasionally so do I. I'm not shy of a shimmery blush. It was just like, where the hell is it for $38? Guys, is that not just silky smooth? It's just buildable. It's not too intense. It looks very soft on the skin. It does catch the light though, but I'm not detecting any sparkles. I want to see how this wears. Again, we're going to be doing a wear test. You know, you can kind of see it has like a glossy finish. Like it calls itself matte, but maybe it dries down. It's not completely matte just yet. I hope that I'm very excited for this reformulation overall. I think that I will be. I'm suspecting I will. On to the final blush. This is the Ciele Flush and Protect SPF 45 Plus Powder Blush. There are 7 shades in this and it retails for $34. It's fragrance free. It's got SPF, a radiant finish, talc free hybrid SPF 45 Plus blush that diffuses a radiant flush of color onto the cheeks with a silky blurring finish. It's pretty much lightweight and buildable. All right, this is made in the USA and it expires 4 of 2027. So what is that, 18 months? Yeah, pretty much 18 months from now. I did open this and I don't know if I swatched it, but I could immediately smell the SPF in it. I know she's not lying. By the way, mine is in the shade Shy. One shade is sold out on the Sephora website right now. Shy is a dusty rose shade. So you know what? I'll probably be pretty good putting these two like together. But look how glossy this one from NARS looks. Sephora sometimes I don't feel like gets it right when they say matte finish. Oh, it's dry. It's completely dry. Is that just the sheen? I did use a dense brush and it picked up the foundation. It actually picked up quite a bit of the foundation. If I'm being honest, like it looks awful. Oh, it looks awful. It looks awful. I am not gonna lie. I like the way that it went on, but if you could see this cheek up close, ooh, it looks terrible. I just don't know if I would use a kabuki brush moving forward. There's a very slight sheen to this. Very, very slight sheen. Nice, lightly pigmented. I'm gonna use a fluffy brush with this. Oh, it's pretty pigmented. It's definitely more pigmented than the NARS one as I was putting it on. The shades are pretty similar too. That's good. Okay, it's matte but not flat. Smells like SPF. Pretty, and I'm done. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take some of this. I hate to do this to the NARS one, but I'm gonna have to try a different brush with that NARS one because, oh, it separated my foundation so badly on this side. Oh, it looks absolutely horrific. Like, let me see if you guys can see just how much it's separated the foundation. Like, not good on top of powder. No bueno. I mean, that could totally have been my fault, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this NARS formula is very thick. Like, that's part of it, is that when it's this moussey like this, like when I swatch it out, like, can you see how just like moussey that is? It's very thick. A lot of times getting that to stick to the skin, you gotta pounce a little bit harder, and then it doesn't lay super closely to the skin, causing it to lift products underneath. It may not be a me thing, it may be a formula thing. We're on into the final product that we're gonna test today. It's the Bio Radiant Glassy Balm Highlighter Stick from Haus Labs. It retails for $30. It's like the same component as the contour stick. This one comes in 6 different shades. I have mine in the shade Glassy Pink Opal, which is a shade I really like for highlighters. A nice pinky tone, high shine finish, long wearing, multi-use for eyes, lips, and cheeks, formulated with 64% skincare. Sea fennel extract, wakame extract, I don't know, and hyaluronic acid. It was the swatch that got me, same exact thing. But look how pretty the shade is. Yeah, really nice formula, you guys. It's a glossy balm, but see how thin it is? Like, I like a really thin highlighter stick formula that doesn't feel too sticky. No, I'm not really seeing it too much on this side. I mean, it's just glossy. Okay, glossy. Let's do it on the side that has the powder blush. Show up. Dang it, show up. There you go. I'm just tapping it with my finger. I think I prefer that. A lot of these products, like, honestly, I would prefer just to tap in. I think they apply better. It's glossy, but it's not sticky. I do feel it. It is a little sticky on my fingers. I like the way that it feels on the swatch. Like, it feels so thin and really like, ooh, like it sits closely to the skin. The problem is formulas like highlighters like this, because this is how I would use this product. You just wouldn't find me like putting this probably on my eyes or anywhere else really, is that I need them to dry down. I have a weird thing about liquid highlighters. Like, they really need to melt and then dry. Melt and dry, melt and dry. That's what I need. I don't think I have my thoughts entirely wrapped around everything that I tried on today. But again, we're gonna be doing a wear test, like to the point that I'll come back up here at the very end of the evening so I can show you guys how everything held up. You know, the only thing that I wasn't like killing it for here was it's still separated, was the NARS Multiple, because honestly, this texture is just like super duper creamy. The glossy balm, like, it's cool, but I just don't think it's gonna dry down, which is like, damn. I don't know, there's a time and a place for it, but sometimes when things don't dry down, I don't know, they feel heavy on my skin and I don't like that. So yeah, glossy, but like dry down, that's kind of my thing. So maybe I shouldn't have spent the money on it, but I'll give you my final thoughts at the very end of the evening. I won't look as put together as I do now. I have to go over to my grandmother's. We have to move furniture. I'm sure that I'm gonna end up like lying down at some point. So there's gonna be a lot of things that I'm gonna put this freaking makeup to the test. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. I'll see you guys back here at the end of the evening. Bye for now. Hey guys, it's been about 9 hours. Listen. The NARS, the Multiple, oh my gosh, it's still like, you can see where it's separated right on my cheek area. I mean, I did lay on this side, so a lot of the blush is kind of gone, but yeah, it separated the crap out of the foundation right here. So I think this is like really thick and probably something I wouldn't put on top of a full bead of foundation again. The glossy stick actually lasted though. You know, you can still kind of see it on the high points of my face, which I was really surprised of. I think it did end up drying down and it stayed a long time. Like, I was really impressed with this, more so than when I initially put it on. The concealer didn't do any creasing. I really enjoy the concealer. I think it's as good or better than the original, so I don't mind that reformulation. And by the way, this shadow stick didn't crease. I'm shocked. It stayed, it didn't crease, it didn't really fade except where I kind of like rubbed around my eyes. Shadow stick, really good, thoroughly enjoying it. The mascara from YSL, it transferred and it flaked. Not a lot, but it did do it. The Kosas did not. No movement on it whatsoever. These lashes, there goes my kids, got a little bit crunchy. These still look nice and curled. Like, I really enjoy the Kosas mascara. Not as pigmented as I wish it was. I wish it had this level of pigmentation, but I wish this one did not flake, and it definitely flakes. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Thank you to all who tuned in. If you guys are not currently subscribed, I'd love to see you subscribe, you guys. I'm out of here, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye, guys.